Whoop whoop. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy Manny Fresh, and I'm here to do a part two to my video regarding Selena, aka the Kimber 2K11 um, target OR. And let me go ahead and make sure it's clear. I'm clearing it out right now because you all know I always keep something loaded and ready to go just in case. But yeah, this right here, let me make sure, let me show you guys it is completely unloaded. Nothing in the chamber. And you can all see all the way, magwell is empty. And that's my beard. And this is my eyeball. So anyways, yeah. But check it out, man. I recently, like I said, I just posted up the video last week of me shooting first shots, or it was on Saturday last week, and it shot really well. I was very, very pleased with it at first. And so again, I I'm so low level, man. Nobody sponsors me, no donations, nothing like that, which I'm cool with. I just do this for the love of firearms and for the love of you guys. And everybody knows how much something like this costs, right? And so it's a pretty penny. But it's something that I really wanted. My next one I want to get is a Mark 23. Yeah, HK. But anyways, I seen this and I really wanted it. I wanted it for a long time, and so I was blessed being able to get it, and I got it. So anyways, I took my first shots last Saturday, and I recorded some of the video for it, and I ended the video and started. I wasn't thinking because it's never really happened. But there's some things that happen at the range that I need to talk to you guys about regarding the 2K11. Um, Lo and behold, I did 8 magazines, 13 rounds in each magazine, and I did 8 magazine. I wasn't mag dumping. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was just shot after shot after shot after shot, and then once that magazine would get empty, I would eject it, and then I would give it to Lisa. She would load up that one while I took another loaded one, reloaded the firearm, engaged, and then engaged on my target. And I was getting a feel for the gun. You know what I mean? Because every gun shoots different. Every gun shoots different. This has got a great trigger, everything like that. But every gun shoots different, and you got to adjust for it. So, anyways, I start having a problem towards the end. I even let her shoot a magazine, you know what I mean, so she could get a feel for it. She thought it was going to kick like the 50 Desert Eagle, 50 AE Desert Eagle, and I was like, no, not at all, not this thing. So she took it, she shot it, and she liked it. And so, anyways, I went in and I went to go put my magazine in, and lo and behold, it got stuck like halfway, like a little bit more than halfway. It got stuck in the magwell. And I was like, what the heck? So then I took it out and I had to pull it out. And I took it out for a second. I looked at it, make sure it was okay. And it was a magazine that I had been using that she was reloading. So I was just like, what the hell? So I pushed it back in. And again, it got stuck. And I was like, well, maybe something's wrong. So, me not thinking, I ended up popping it from the bottom, giving a little tap, and then it went up really hard, and I didn't hear the little click. So I went to go rack it, and man, the front end of this thing got hot. It was hot. So I was like, oh shit. So I ended up having to grab a glove, and I went back, and I cocked it back, and I looked, and there was nothing. I wanted to make sure there was no round still in the chamber or failure to eject. Nope, there was nothing in there. So I racked it, and I waited, and I went to shoot it, and nothing, no click, no nothing. I was like, what the heck? So then I redid it again. I looked at it, and a round hadn't chambered. So I was like, something's wrong. So I hit the eject button, and the mag didn't drop. So I had to hit the eject button, and I had to physically stick, because it sticks out a little bit from the mag well, where you can get it like this. So right here is how it normally is, right? That's you heard the click, everything. So anyways, I had to push this, and I had to physically pull this out, and it was sort of hard. So I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, well, maybe the gun's too hot. I don't want to shoot with such a hot barrel. I know better than that. You don't ever want to shoot with the hot barrel, because you could have a round, you could have a round go off. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the heat. So I set the gun down. I let it cool off for like 5 minutes. I picked it back up, and I was able to grab the slide, and it was okay. It was a little warm to the touch, but nothing too hot. And I know I was down to like my last two mags, with for the ammo. So, anyways, I grabbed the magazine, and I went to go put it in again, and it was still having the same problem. So I was like, I set it down, and I gave it 5 minutes, and I'll be honest, I said a little prayer, because I was like, I started getting pissed off at this point. I'm being totally honest with you, man. I started losing my cool, because I'm like, you and I both know how much I paid for this gun, and the brand new target with the RSO, you know what I mean, and everything. So yeah, I paid a pretty penny. We don't have to talk about numbers, but you know how much it was, or a roundabout figure. You know what I mean? So anyways, I let it sit for 5 minutes, and I was like, come on, let me try it again. Come on, Lord. And so I picked it up, grabbed the magazine, put it in here, took my time, and then it racked. It loaded. And I was like, okay, come here, racked it. It was good to go. Shot that magazine, and that was good to go. And then my last magazine, I had it, and I shot, and it was fine. So it was bothering me. It was really, really bothering me. It made me think about things. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I sat there, and I was real busy the last couple of days. I uploaded a video and everything, the first video. So again, this is part two. So, anyways, yesterday I had some downtime, so I gave Kimber a call, and it took me 25 minutes on hold, just the phone ringing and ringing before somebody from customer service answered the line. That I wasn't too happy about. So, anyways, I finally get a hold of somebody online. I mean, on the phone, and I'm talking to the young lady, and I explained to her. She's like, I said, I don't know if this is the right department. I'm not too sure if I have to speak to an armor, or you know what I mean, something like this. She said, no, I can help you. What's going on, Mr. Zamora? So I told her. I told her exactly what happened. So she said, well, how many rounds are in your magazine? I said, 13. I said, I have the 45 ACP. I didn't go with the 9mm. I went with the 45. She was like, okay. So then she did some math. She says, so that eight mags should have been like around 100 and some odd, 110, 112, something like that, 120. I don't remember exactly, but about 120 rounds, right? And around there, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. 8 times 13, guys. I don't know. So, anyways, so she was just like, she said, okay. And then she says, hold on. And she was put me on hold for probably about 2 minutes. This was the quickest. She got back on the line, and she says, well, I talked to the armor. She said, as far as the barrel heating up, she says, yes, it will do that. She says, that many rounds going back to back, your barrel will heat up. And I said, okay. I says, but that's that question. I said, but what about the mag? What about the mag well and the mag not feeding? And she says, well, I asked them that too. And of course they said, well, you know how heat and cold stuff compresses and then it expands. I said, yes, ma'am. And she was like, so once it heated up, the metal with everything heated up and it condensed. And she's like, so that's why when the firearm cooled down, you were able to input another magazine, insert another magazine. And I said, yes. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So she's like, I said, yes. She was like, okay. She says, so it's running fine now, right? I said, yes, ma'am. And she was like, okay. She's like, well, I said, well, thank you for all the help. I appreciate it. I said, I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't done nothing wrong and that, that something wasn't wrong with the firearm. So after I hung up, I got to thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute, man. All the videos that I did my homework on and I watched before I even pulled the trigger on this, like literally, and picked it up, I sat there and I was like, they've done 1,000 round mags. I'm sorry, 1,000 round what they call it, review on these, and they go back to back, right? And so they don't mag dump, this and that, just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And so, and they this straight out the box, boys, that they show you. So mine was straight out the box. It was already came super, super lubed. It was wet. I was just like, so I just took the excess off. I wiped the excess down. Everything like that was good to go. So anyways, I was thinking to myself, I says, you know what? I said, my people need to know the truth. I says, because for what I paid for it, again, I mean, honestly, I don't think it should have did that. Not after 110, 15 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And and I even called my best friend, my little brother Isaiah De La Rosa down in Harlingen, Texas, and we always talk guns. And he's the one who got me back into the gun game. And he was like, well, you got to break in your barrel. I said, yeah, bro. I said, but by breaking in your barrel, you need to shoot it. You need to shoot the firearm, right? And he said, yeah. I said, now, I wasn't mag dumping. I could see if I was mag dumping. And he said, yeah, but 8 magazines within a half hour is sort of a lot. And I said, I get that. I says, but they've done 1,000 round reviews and at the box, and they didn't have problems with theirs. And I said, so I don't know if it's something to do with the gun itself. I don't know if it has something to do with just the breaking in period. But I just think for what this gun is, the MSRP and what I paid for it, it shouldn't have did that. So please do me a favor, man. Hit like, subscribe to support the channel, but leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. Seriously, do you think that, the price of the gun, exactly, I don't want to say how much it was, but the price of the gun, that it should have did that. I understand it's not a staccato, but this is supposed to be the second best thing to a staccato out for the past year. The Target, the brand new Target 45 OR. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, this and that. And again, I just wanted to give some info for you guys to tell you the truth about what happened after I took the video for the first time during the first shots. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great one. I'll see you soon.